The late afternoon sun filtered through the window blinds, casting long golden stripes across the living room floor. Emma sat curled up on the end of the couch, a soft blanket draped over her legs, her fingers lazily scrolling. Threw her phone in search of anything that could distract her from the heaviness she'd been carrying for weeks. The quiet hum of the ceiling fan was the only sound in the room, steady and dull, matching the rhythm of her thoughts. She wasn't expecting anything, certainly not a message that would stop her heart cold. Her phone vibrated once. A notification banner slid across the top of the screen. Unknown number. Does Marcus know you were at the hotel last night? Emma's thumb froze mid-scroll. Her breathing hitched. She blinked once, twice, hoping she had read it wrong. But the message remained. Her mouth went dry as adrenaline surged through her veins. The room suddenly felt too small, too silent, too watchful. She sat up straighter, clutching the phone with both hands as if it might slip away and betray her further. She read the message again, slowly this time, each word landing heavier than the last. Does Marcus know? No, he didn't. He couldn't. She had been careful. She had been cautious. She had parked far from the entrance, worn a hood, used a different elevator. Daniel had checked in under a different name. They thought they were invisible. So who knew? Her pulse thudded in her ears. She tapped the message open, staring at the number. No name, no picture. Just a string of digits she didn't recognize. Her fingers trembled as she typed a reply. Who is this? Before she could hit send, she stopped herself. What if responding made it worse? What if it confirmed something the sender wasn't sure about? Her phone slipped out of her hands onto the couch cushion. She pressed a shaky hand to her forehead, trying to steady her thoughts. Her eyes drifted toward the family photos on the wall, pictures of her and Marcus on their wedding day, smiling so brightly it almost hurt. Pictures from vacations, birthdays, laughter. On the surface, everything looked perfect. But under that perfection, cracks had been spreading for months. Guilt twisted in her stomach like a knife. The phone buzzed again. One more message. You can't hide this forever. Emma's breath shattered. Whoever was watching, whoever knew, wasn't going to stop. Emma had spent the rest of the afternoon pacing the hallway, phone clutched in her hand, waiting for something, another message, a clue, a call. But the unknown number remained silent. The quiet only deepened the panic swirling in her chest. When she finally heard Marcus's key turning in the lock, the sound cut through the stillness like a blade. He was home early, much earlier than usual. The door opened and Marcus stepped inside, his expression unreadable. He didn't greet her. He didn't smile. He simply closed the door behind him with slow, deliberate movements that made her stomach twist. Hey, you're home soon, Emma said, forcing a steady tone. Her voice cracked anyway. Marcus didn't answer. Instead, he held something up. Her phone. Unlocked. Emma's heart plummeted. He had never gone through her phone, not in all the years they'd been together. Trust was something he used to wear openly, almost carelessly, like an old sweater he never questioned. But tonight his eyes were sharper, colder, searching. Who is he, Emma? He asked quietly. It wasn't a shout. It wasn't anger. It was worse, controlled, tired, hollow. The kind of voice someone uses when they've already imagined every possible version of the truth. Emma opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Her throat felt tight, as if words had abandoned her. Marcus stepped forward, dropping the phone on the table between them with a dull echo. I read the messages, he said. Not all of them. I didn't need to read all of them. I just needed to know whether my instincts were wrong. She swallowed hard, tears already burning at the corners of her eyes. Marcus, Please don't lie, he interrupted, holding up a hand. Not now. Not after this. Silence stretched painfully. Emma stared at the floor, a sob trapped in her chest. I didn't mean for any of it to happen, she whispered, finally meeting his eyes. I was lonely. You were always working. We stopped talking. I felt invisible. Marcus let out a soft, bitter laugh. Invisible? Emma, I've been trying so hard to keep this house running, to keep us stable. And all this time, you thought I didn't care? She shook her head rapidly. It wasn't like that. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. Marcus looked at her, really looked, and in his eyes she saw something breaking. I could have handled the truth, he murmured. But you didn't give me that. You gave me secrets. The distance between them felt wider than their entire home. And for the first time, Emma realized how irreversible some cracks could be. The cafe was tucked away in a quiet street, hidden between a bookstore and an old tailor's shop. It was the kind of place where no one asked questions, and everyone minded their own business. The dim lights and soft jazz usually comforted Emma, but tonight the atmosphere felt thick and suffocating. She slipped inside with her hood up, head down, scanning the room instinctively. Daniel was already there, sitting at a corner table, his fingers tapping a nervous rhythm against his coffee cup. He looked over his shoulder twice before meeting her eyes. Emma approached slowly. "You came," she said quietly. "I had to," he replied, voice tense. "Sit." She slid into the seat across from him, her hands trembling. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The silence felt heavy, filled with unasked questions and unnamed fears. Then Daniel leaned forward. "Emma," he whispered, "you told Marcus something, didn't you?" Her breath caught. "No, he found out. Someone sent him messages about us." Daniel's eyes widened. "What? Who?" "I don't know," she said, shaking her head. "An unknown number. They knew I was at the hotel. They said I can't hide it forever." Daniel cursed under his breath, running a hand through his hair. "I didn't send anything. I swear to you." Emma believed him. She could see the panic in his eyes. He wasn't a good enough liar to fake that level of fear. "So who else knows?" she whispered. Daniel hesitated. "Too long." Her pulse kicked up. "Daniel, tell me." He exhaled hard, shoulders sagging. "There was someone in the lobby the night we met. I noticed them staring at us, at you. I thought maybe it was nothing, but now I'm not so sure." Emma's heart hammered. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I didn't want to scare you," he said. "And because I thought we were being careful. But Emma, someone is watching. Someone has been watching for a while." Her hands clutched the edge of the table. "This isn't just an affair anymore," she whispered. "This is something else." Daniel lowered his voice to a near whisper. "I think someone wants to hurt you, or Marcus, or both of you." The words hung between them, chilling and heavy. For the first time since everything started, Emma felt real fear. Not of being caught. Not of losing Marcus. But of the invisible eyes following her every move. Emma stepped quietly into the house, the cool night air still clinging to her clothes as she closed the door behind her. The hallway felt darker than usual, as if the shadows themselves knew what she had done. Her hands were cold, her heart unsteady, and she wasn't sure what she feared more, Marcus's silence or his anger. She found him sitting at the dining table, elbows resting on the wood, fingers interlocked. He wasn't looking at his phone or a document or the door. He was staring at nothing, straight ahead, as if trying to piece together a puzzle that had been ripped apart. On the table in front of him sat her phone, placed intentionally, neatly. "Waiting," Emma swallowed, gathering the courage to speak. "Marcus, I'm home." "I know." His voice was flat, emotionless, yet somehow full of everything he wasn't saying. She hesitated, then stepped closer. "We need to talk." "We do." Marcus finally lifted his eyes, and she immediately wished he hadn't. They were tired. Wounded, not angry, but deeply, profoundly hurt. Emma's breath caught. "I went out to clear my mind. I just needed—" He held up a hand gently. "You don't have to explain that part. I already know where you were." Her stomach twisted. "How?" He exhaled slowly, as if releasing a weight he'd been holding for far too long. "Your sister came by today." Emma's heart stopped. "What?" "She saw you," he said softly. "At the hotel with him." She didn't want to believe it. But she thought I deserved to know. Emma felt the blood drain from her face. She followed me?" "No," Marcus said, shaking his head. "She was there for a work event. She recognized you. She didn't say anything at first, but when she saw how distant you've been..." She connected the dots. He leaned back, eyes glistening, not with rage, but with sorrow. "I wanted to believe she was wrong. I kept telling myself she misunderstood, that there had to be another explanation. But then your phone lit up. And the messages confirmed everything." Emma's legs weakened. She sank into the chair across from him. "Marcus, I never wanted to hurt you." "I know," he said quietly. "But wanting and doing aren't the same." The house felt painfully silent. The kind of silence that follows the breaking of something fragile. Marcus stood slowly, pushing the chair back with a soft scrape. "I can forgive mistakes, Emma," he whispered. "But not lies. Not secrets." He walked past her toward the bedroom, suitcase already half-packed. As the door clicked shut behind him, Emma realized the full weight of what she had lost. Not just a marriage, but the trust that held it together.